What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the best smartphones in the $300 to $200 price range for September. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, my favorite phone right now and the one that I'm using the most as my daily driver is going to be the Xiaomi Mi 9T. Now, I've been very impressed with this phone. It has pretty great specs, but one of the things that I love about this phone is the full screen display, and it's got this awesome red LED pop-up camera. It just makes you feel like James Bond. Very cool. So it does have a 6.39-inch display. You do have a 1080 by 2340 resolution, so full HD. You do have 6 GB of RAM in the Snapdragon 730. I was using the phone for about a month and haven't noticed any slowdowns or hiccups. You have a massive 4000 milliamp battery, which I'm getting about a day and a half of battery life out of this guy, so not bad at all. You do have Android 9 on top of MyUI, which is pretty fast. I don't have any problems with it. You do have 64 128 GB version. You cannot expand with a micro SD card. So one of the things that's awesome about this phone is the main camera setup. So you have a 48 megapixel main sensor, 8 megapixel telephoto, and a 13 megapixel ultra wide. And this thing takes some great photos, especially if you download Gcam on it. You'll get even better photos. This phone also has a built-in fingerprint scanner under the AMOLED display, and you're just getting a very nice premium feeling flagship-ish phone without paying a flagship price at around $300. Next is the Galaxy A50. So I really like this phone because of the hardware. I think for $262 is what they're asking for on Amazon. This is a great buy. It's one of those phones that no one's gonna know that you really have a a $200 phone because the hardware is so nice. Now, if you don't like the pop-up camera of the Mi 9T, this has a little water drop notch, so you don't have to worry about motorized parts breaking. You still have that triple camera setup, which we'll get into in a minute, but you also have a 6.4-inch display, 1080 by 2340, full HD, 4 or 6 GB of RAM, and the Exynos 9610 processor. On top of that, you do have a 4000 milliamp battery and Android 9.0, so you do have Samsung skin on there. I really like Samsung skin. It's my favorite skin out of all the manufacturers. You do have a micro SD card, and you do have 64 128 GB of storage. Now, the cameras on here are actually pretty good from my testing. 25 megapixel wide, 8 megapixel ultra wide, and then you have a 5 megapixel depth sensor along with a really nice 25 megapixel selfie camera. So this is definitely the go-to phone for Samsung fans that are not trying to spend a whole bunch of money. Next is the Moto G7 Play. It's going for a nonsense price of $211, and it's just a steal at this price. I mean, almost $200 flat, and it's just a really nice phone. Hardware wise, I'm a big Motorola fan. You do have a 6.2-inch display, 1080 by 2270, so full HD. You do have 4 GB of RAM. Some people might be a little iffy with the Snapdragon 632, but it'll get the job done for most basic tasks. You do have a pure stock version of Android with Motorola's actions on top of it, which is really nice. You do have 64 GB of storage and a micro SD, a 3000 milliamp battery, which I wish was a little bit bigger, but it should get you through the day no problem. You do have the fingerprint scanner on the back. Some people don't like built-in. This might be a good option for you. You do have a dual camera setup, 12 megapixel and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. So I really like the Moto G7 because stock Android just runs so good on here, and I feel like Motorola's phones last a really long time. So the next phone is the UMIDIGI F1. This is still a great phone for $200 flat. This phone is pretty good. 6.3-inch display, 1080 by 2340. You have a plastic build, so it's very durable. Android 9.0, pretty much stock Android. 128 GB of storage for $200 is really nice with a micro SD support. You have 4 GB of RAM in the Helio P60 processor. Now, where this phone gets crazy, it's got a 5150 milliamp battery, so it was hard for me to kill the battery on this phone. You can get about 3 days of battery life if you're a light user. You play a lot of games, just 2 days flat, just playing games off and on. That's what you would get, and it was just a really fun phone to play with. It's got a curved glass display, which looks pretty cool. The only downside with this phone is definitely the cameras. The main camera is a 16 megapixel and an 8 megapixel dual camera setup. They take decent photos. It was nothing that was really you know, it's just going to be decent. That's where they cut the corners. You'll see if you actually buy the phone. 16 megapixel selfie camera was actually not too bad. I really love this phone for battery life, and the display is actually very nice, and it's just a dependable phone. You got the fingerprint scanner on the back. Just don't be expecting great cameras out of this guy. Last on the list is the Nokia 8. This phone is a beast because for 300 bucks you're getting the Snapdragon 835 processor. So if you're looking for a phone that's more powerful than the Mi 9T, this is going to be the phone around that price range. Android 9.0 pretty much stock. Nokia is really good at getting you the latest version of Android, so updates faster than pretty much anybody, except for the Google Pixel phones. One thing that I love about this phone, a 5.3-inch display. It is a full HD 1440 by 2560, and if you have small hands and you hate big phones, this is going to be the phone for you. It's one of the best. It's got really good specs, USB Type-C, a dual camera setup, 213 megapixels and a 13 megapixel front. It's just a beast of a phone. If you know anything about Nokia, you're getting top-notch hardware with this guy. So you know, overall, I really like this phone. It's definitely for the build quality and the size. So thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you guys in the next one.